Hello there, everybody. This is Cholera, and welcome to Game 3 of Samson Khan versus SKT1. We have here Jangbi versus Fantasy. And this game was recommended to me by several of you, so I do expect great things, as I usually do when you guys recommend the game. You guys are pretty on top of it. All those scouts I have out there, all those observers I have who do watch the games live, and I appreciate your sacrifice of watching them live instead of with my commentary. But no, I figure you guys are all going to watch them live anyway. But yeah, that definitely helps to tell me what is going on and what games to do. We have here Jangbi on the left and Fantasy on the right, of course. Fantasy looks like a young boxer. I know I'm not the only one who ever says that, but it is true. Jangbi, I don't know what he looks like, but guess what? Both of these players are actually facing off to be the King of Silver. Jangbi has won 2 silver medals, and Fantasy has also won 2 silver medals, both recently in MSL, OSL, or GOM TV finals. So the question is, do they actually want to win this game, or do they want to lose? It's a conundrum, because to be the King of Silver, maybe you actually want to become second place even when you're facing off against the other King of Silver. So I'm actually very confused. I don't know. Tell me what you guys think about what the King of Silver should want to do, because I have no idea. You know, because it's kind of a difficult situation. Anyway, though, we're going to be watching this game, and it's definitely something that this game is definitely something that I think should be pretty good. I actually do not know what map this is. I am going to confirm it before I say something wrong, before this game really gets rolling. Of course, Fantasy is the Terran player, and Jangbi is the Protoss player, known for killing Terran players left and right. And they're going to be playing on God's Garden. Okay. There's a couple of maps out nowadays with similar tile sets, so don't want to make a fool of myself and confuse you guys. God's Garden, another macro map, you know, kind of like Outsider in the sense that you have a protected natural expansion. 2 maps with that already, and I'm not sure how that plays out. You know, none of these maps are like Katrina, where a protected natural really benefited the Terran player beyond all, and also really hurt the Protoss player. We've got an interesting position for a gateway here from Jangbi, going to put it down below his ramp, and you know, maybe that's going to help him get a couple forces up a little bit faster. Got a couple of shots of the commentators there. So no 14 command center. No, I'm sorry, no 14 Nexus on this map from Jangbi. Certainly a viable option for Protosses, and a lot of them have gotten away with it. He's going to scout, looks like the wrong direction at the bottom right first. Fantasy, of course, has made it into the finals and lost to Stork. And more recently, he has lost to, what's his name? Why am I blanking out? J-Dog, of course. So, you know, certainly not having a lot of luck in the finals, but so hasn't Jangbi. So, and both of them are solid players. I would probably, you know, I'm a little bit biased, but I would probably lean towards saying Jangbi is a more favored player, especially in this lineup, of course. He is more favored, but I would say yeah, he is the better player. But, you know, that's certainly debatable. Jangbi, of course, lost against Zerg also. In any case, looks like we're going to see a fast expand build from the Terran player, unless I'm mistaken. Both players choosing to put things in their natural expansion on the outside location. Jangbi is produced as Zealot. He's going to be now marching out. Correction, Jangbi has actually won has won the silver in 2 MSLs and a silver in GOM. So right now, he is still the King of Silver, so to speak. Jangbi is actually placing down a barracks here. I'm sorry, a pylon here, and that's going to stop a tight wall in. Jangbi's building 2 Zealots, and doesn't look like Fantasy is quite prepared here for this. Oh, Fantasy SCV blocking for him, and that was not a good block. Fantasy is going to have to micro a little bit here. Taking out his SCVs. Nice micro there from Fantasy, I gotta say. Not losing any SCVs, but that Zealot is taking forever to kill. Zealots just take forever to kill by Marines and SCVs alone. And a second Zealot is now coming up. Fantasy really needs to get those Vultures out. Looks like Jangbi has gotten for another Zealot. This is just absolutely crazy play here from Jangbi. Well, well, not crazy, but you know, smart play, I guess. Too many Terrans have just been taking advantage of their fast expands, you know, expecting this Protoss to put no pressure up. Oh man, Jangbi has taken down both of the Marines and a bunch of SCVs, maybe 3 or 4, and now the Vulture is going to kill off the last Zealot. I think Jangbi may have one more Zealot. He might be putting it on his ramp, though, to protect himself. Fantasy sure is going to be looking for some revenge at this point. And actually, Jangbi is chasing around the scouting SCV. He's also got a robotics facility to follow up with here. It is going to get scouted, though, by Fantasy. And Jangbi is going to get a Dragoon out on time. Fantasy probably is not going to have much luck in getting up the ramp, although right now I think he would be content to just expand and make sure he didn't, you know, take too much of an economic hit. Jangbi actually getting really aggressive here. He's actually moving out with his units, and I don't think, oh man, he has nothing blocking his ramp. I gotta say that's a mistake. Oh man, where did he think that Vulture was? I think Fantasy was very smart in moving it out to the side, but Jangbi is now taking damage that he really did not need to take. Now bringing back a Dragoon, but Fantasy microing a bit against the probes. Actually, that's cost him a couple of probe kills he might have gotten otherwise. Gets another probe kill, 4 kills total for that Vulture. I think that's 3 probe kills, and 4th probe kill coming up. Can he get a 5? Yeah, he gets a 5th probe kill. Nice micro coming from Fantasy, and now he's the one who's slightly ahead from this harassment, I gotta say. Oh man, so Fantasy doing a great job capitalizing on Jangbi's misstep there, and Jangbi meanwhile unable to do any damage in the front. There was a tank out already for Fantasy with that cutesy little wall in there with the factory and the racks. Now comes the Reaver harassment. And Fantasy is going to be going for an early starport. He does not want to play standard Terran here and get turrets. He wants to hopefully get some Wraiths out to protect himself against the Reaver harass. But I'm not sure how effective that's going to be because, you know, he needs to get that Wraith out immediately. Jangbi is probably going to have that Reaver over pretty soon. I'm not sure if the Wraith is going to be out in time, although I think it might be, actually, given the timings of everything and how long of a distance there is between the two bases. This is going to turn out to be very interesting here very soon. I gotta say though, Jangbi's brilliance in the beginning was also matched with his misstep there. Really, I mean, just, you know, he was very smart, and he really just gave up that advantage by moving his units out. It was a hard-won advantage, too, with that Zealot attack. I'd say Jangbi is slightly behind, actually. Well, actually, he's significantly behind at this point. He really needs to make this harassment count. Otherwise, he's going to be in a horrible position because he's facing a Terran who's already expanded. And he has not expanded at this point. A Wraith is going to be out soon, and I think this is going to play right into Fantasy's hands. Fantasy is going to be completely ready for this harassment. I mean, the Reaver might take out a couple of units, but the power of the Reaver harassment comes from the the survivability of the Reaver, the fact that it's not afraid of taking a few hits because it's got the shuttle backing it up. Anyway, it looks like the Reaver is actually being launched in the front, and this might be a little bit difficult to deal with, although it looks like tanks are going to focus fire on it. Wraith going to go in, take a couple of pot shots. Is he going to be able to pick off the shuttle? Nice mines and nice mine dodging coming from Jangbi. So Jangbi actually still managing to keep everything alive despite all the tanks and mines and the Wraith that's been thrown in. This is actually kind of crazy here. This the lack of siege mode is hurting Fantasy greatly here. Fantasy looks like he's researching it most likely, but he does not have it finished, and